Hi, for this video I want to show you how to add and subtract values that are in degrees, minutes, and seconds. I will also have one of these with the TI-84 and the TI-Nspire graphing calculator. So let's get started. What we are going to do is we are going to take our values, and I always start with the seconds first, and we just add them as they are. So we're going to start with the seconds and we would add them together. So we would add our 8 and the 7 and get the 15. Carry the 1, and we end up with 85 seconds. And you can either at this point convert it to where you bring it over. I'm going to go ahead and wait in just a second and do that and add everything that we originally have together. But remember, we can't leave it like this because 85 seconds is really 1 minute and 25 seconds. So we do have to change that. So you can either change it here, or you can go ahead and add all of them together and change it at that time. So that's what I'm going to choose to do. So the 5 and the 7, if I add them together, I get 12. And if I carry, I end up with 62. And again, we're going to have to change this, but we're going to wait until after we change this first. Okay, and then on this one, if I add them together, I get 65 degrees. So right now, I have 65 degrees, 62 minutes, 85 seconds. But since our values for both our minutes and our seconds are greater than 60, we do have to change them. So like I said, it may be easier to start at the beginning to change them if you see that it's already over and go ahead and carry it. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with this part right here. Since 85 seconds is really 60 seconds plus 25 seconds, and we know that 60 seconds is 1 minute, what we are going to do is take this one right here and add it to our 62 in the middle. So this is really 65 degrees, 63 minutes, and 25 seconds. And now again, we have the same thing happening for our minutes. So we're going to take that. Remember that 63 minutes is really 60 minutes plus 3 more minutes. And this part right here is really 1 degree. So we're going to add 1 degree to this one. So our final answer would be 66 degrees, 3 minutes, and 25 seconds. So make sure that your minutes and your seconds are not greater than 60. If they're greater than 60, then you do have to convert them. All right, so let's look at the next one that we have on here. This time we're going to be subtracting. So when you're subtracting, you are going to subtract your seconds from each other, your minutes from each other, and your degrees from each other. But if, like for example here, my 37 seconds, if I were to subtract those, I would get a negative value since 37 is less than 45. So what we have to do is we have to borrow from here. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow a minute from here to make this seconds value larger than the other one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the 85 degrees the same. I'm going to borrow 1 minute from here, so this will become 14 minutes. And I'm going to add it into this part right here. So remember that 1 minute is 60 seconds. So if I add the 60 seconds into here, I end up with 97 seconds. And the second part's going to stay the same. I'm not going to change it. So it stays the 46 degrees, 22 minutes, and 45 seconds. So now I'm able to subtract these two. But if you notice, we have the same problem with our minutes. 14 minutes is not greater than 22 minutes. So what we are going to have to do in order to work with this column is we're going to have to borrow 1 whole degree from here. So we're going to have 84 degrees. I'm going to borrow 1 minute from here. So remember that there are 60 minutes in 1 degree. So I'm going to add 60 to this. So we would end up with 74 minutes, 97 seconds. And then we're going to subtract the 46 degrees, 22 minutes, and 45 seconds. Okay, so if I subtract this out, 97 minus 45 gives me 52. 74 minus 22 gives me 52. And the 84 minus 46, again, you have to borrow here in case you forgot how to do this. So I would do the 14 minus 6, which gives me the 8. And if I subtract the 7 minus the 4, we get 38. So our final answer would be 38 degrees, 52 minutes, and 52 seconds. So when adding, don't forget to check that if your value for your minutes or your seconds is greater than 60, you do have to convert it and make 60 seconds into 1 minute and carry it over into your minutes column. And if your minutes is greater, you do have to add take the 60 minutes from here and add 1 more degree into the degree column. And with subtracting, you have to borrow in order to make the seconds larger from the first one larger than the second one. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there are additional topics you need me to cover, please let me know that as well. And if you get a chance, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe.